And good evening, folks. It's Jay from Cold Nights, and tonight we're going to be going over some incredibly expensive 3DS games that I could not believe had gotten to that price. Let's get into it. Alright, the first game we're going to talk about is Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology. This one's sealed. You're probably not going to find it sealed. So it is $103, complete in box. A remake of the original Radiant Historia. It was released in February 2018 in North America. The game changed some character designs and added new support mechanics. The base game focuses on using a magical book to change timelines in order to prevent the destruction of the land. The combat is turn-based, with some tactical elements. The game features a soundtrack by Yoko Shimomura of Kingdom Hearts fame. The game has seen some fluctuation in price, but generally stays in the $100 to $120 range for a complete in-box copy. I was lucky enough to get mine at a local Walmart a few years ago on clearance for $30 or $40. We have Etrian Mystery Dungeon, currently going for $80 complete in box. Etrian Mystery Dungeon was released in April of 2015. The game is a standout for the fact it successfully combined the playstyles and mechanics of both the Etrian Odyssey series and the long-running Mystery Dungeon series. Taking the character creation and party mechanics from Etrian Odyssey and the dungeon crawling and mirrored enemy movement from Mystery Dungeon. The game also features fortress building mechanics to stop large, powerful monsters from escaping the dungeons and laying waste to the town outside. Rescue parties can also be dispatched from the fortresses to rescue fallen parties. The game features new music by Yuzo Koshiro and past tracks from Etrian Odyssey games as well. The game has seen some sharp spikes in value, but has recently come down to a fairly affordable $80 for a complete in-box copy. Next up, we have Dragon Quest VII, currently going for $60, complete in box. A handheld remake of the original 2001 release of Dragon Warrior 7. It was released in North America in 2016. The name was officially changed over to Dragon Quest for the series during this time. The game features a unique story, where the party must go back in time and save continents and their world from being destroyed. The game has an extremely deep leveling and class system. It also retains the massive size and scope of Dragon Warrior games of the past. Many people don't know the original game was slated for the 64DD, and when Enix pulled it from the platform, it greatly contributed to the downfall of the peripheral due to the immense popularity of Dragon Quest in Japan. The game was so anticipated on the PlayStation, Square pushed back the release of Final Fantasy IX to avoid competition. The game has had some dips and spikes in its price, but generally sits between $60 and $70, complete in box. And next up, we have Project X Zone 2, currently going for $59, complete in box. Project X Zone 2 was released in 2016 in North America. It was the sequel to the original crossover game between Bandai Namco, Capcom, and Sega. This time around, Nintendo characters from Fire Emblem are included. Tekken, Dot Hack, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Virtua Fighter, Mega Man, Shenmue, and Phoenix Wright are just a few of the franchises included. It is a tactical role-playing game, with combat once engaged being filled with flashy combos and finishers. The intro and end themes were sung by the popular Marina, and the music was arranged by Yuzo Koshiro. After spiking into the $100 range, the game has come down to a much more comfortable $59 price tag for a complete in-box copy. Next up, we have Etrian Odyssey Untold, Millennium Girl, currently going for $52, complete in box. Etrian Odyssey Untold, The Millennium Girl, was released in North America in 2013. It is a retelling/remake of the original game. Many changes were made, including quality of life enhancements, like a dash and the options for auto mapping and changing the difficulty. The biggest change, though, was adding in a story mode on top of the traditional mode, with pre-made characters, a deeper story, and preset dialogues between the characters. Though some lamented the changes, many critics said they made the game more accessible to a wider audience. One issue of note, though, is there is only one save slot, so you cannot enjoy both iterations of the game at the same time. Following a massive spike in price in mid-2023, the game is much more affordable now at $52, complete in box. Next up, we have Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked, currently going for $50, complete in box. Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked was a remaster of the original DS game. It added many new demons, a demon compendium, full voice acting, and an 8th day to achieve additional endings and objectives. The original game was designed to be welcoming to both newcomers to the series and SMT veterans. They went with a tactical combat system, where the player controls squads made up of player character and 2 demons. The story is an interesting one for sure, with Shibuya being locked down after demons suddenly descend. The remaster was praised, but many questioned why it did not take more advantage of the 3D functionality of the 3DS. The game has come down from $70 at the beginning of 2022 to a more reasonable $50 for a complete in-box copy today. Up next, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, going for $48, complete in box. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse was released in 2016 for the 3DS and is a sequel to SMT4. A new protagonist and cast of characters joined the pre-existing characters to continue the struggle in an alternate version of events. The game was praised for its combat and demon negotiation systems, as well as its adjustable difficulty, though some still complained of difficulty spikes, which is to be expected in SMT games. The art and fashion style in the game is unique, though some critics said the graphics and environments were bland and dated. It did well sales-wise, nearly equaling Persona 4's first-year sales in Japan. The price for this one has stayed relatively even, always landing between $50 and $60, complete in box. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at 3DS games that are worth way more than we might have thought. If you like what we're doing here, don't forget to hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, stay creepy.